McGinty. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and especially John Mason. This is the first time I'm ever going to roast somebody. And there's no better person to roast than John Mason. I mean, let's face it, John's kind of weird. He can be odd, and sometimes socially inappropriate. For instance, last year when I was president, and now Kurt's president of Bellingham Evening Toastmasters, after introductions, and every time we ask, does anyone have old business, what does John say? You heard him tonight. I'm old. Now that'd be funny if you did it 5 times. He's done it like 75 times in a row. Who does that? John Mason. 3 months ago, I did a presentation on why Bellingham Evening Toastmasters had a tremendous year last year. And I said, well, one reason is the first 2 people we enrolled at the beginning of the year. The first person was Tiffany Holden, and the second person was John Mason. They're like the complete opposites. You see, Tiffany, she looks about 12, but she presents like a veteran. John, well, he's old, and he acts 12. Now, John wasn't at that meeting, but he heard about it. And he came early the next meeting, and he looked kind of stern. And he came up to me and he goes, Patrick, I heard you did a speech last week, and you said I acted 12. I was a little bit concerned, because I thought, well, maybe I offended him. And he said, I don't act 12, I act 7. Only John. You see, John is quite the enigma. And because John is quite the enigma, I had to do a little research with his housemates. I got in all kinds of great material on you, John. You should be afraid. But I did find out what his favorite phrase is. He says it in the house. He says it outside. I heard he says it at the theater. It's all about me. But let's face it, some of us know John is quite the success. John has a PhD in psychology. He's the founder of the Stress Education Center, and he even wrote a book. But I'm not here to talk about that. Yeah, you know that guy. Hey, John, by the way, I went on Amazon today. I checked out your book. It's number 437,950 on the Amazon bestseller list. That must be quite the book, John. Woo! But everyone knows that John is very competitive. Real competitive. Do you ever see he always wants to win word of the day? I think he's disappointed he didn't have a word. He always wants to win. And then as the out counter, if the out counter says, John, you've had 5 ums and 6 so's, he'd be like, whoa! And even in speech contests, he wants to win every speech contest. And to this day, he has this award over here because he placed second in the Area 11 Humor Speech Contest, and he was extremely disappointed he didn't win. And the reason why he said he didn't win is because he told a Richard Nixon joke, and all the Lyndon people got upset. Isn't it that why, John? I don't think so, John. I think you lost because the Lyndon people were upset by the jacket you wore. Look at this thing. Oh, wait a minute. Ring, ring. Hello? Hey, John, it's the 70s. They want their jackets. John, when did you wear that? On the Love Boat? Hey, next month is St. Patrick's Day. You know what John's wearing? Look at his outfit. John, I'm not sure you look more like a leprechaun or a praying mantis.
Where'd you get that picture?
Oh, and I was talking to your housemates, John, and they were telling me how women like to buy different shoes for different outfits. John likes doing that too, except not shoes. He likes to buy pocket protectors with different outfits. Who does that? A nerd? What do you call somebody who wears a t-shirt with a pocket protector? A super nerd? I have a letter for him.
It's a good look.
Hey John, by the way, you really need to reset your security settings on your Facebook page, because I found this. Look at this! He got a Hawaiian shirt with his ugly green jacket and a pocket protector. All I thought about when I saw that is, what would Queer Eye for the Straight Guy think of that? I can tell you what I thought about it as the straight eye for the straight guy. Freaking shoot me! Look at that thing, it's ugly. Hey, but John, it wasn't all bad. Your housemates had a lot of good things to say about you.
Oh,
Yeah. They said you're intelligent, a man with many talents, and a man of many hats. You know, the purple bucket hat. The birthday hat. Hey, Jessica, I heard this is your favorite suit on him, isn't it? I heard that John wore this suit to his son's reception. Can you imagine? There was a rumor that his son, whenever they said, hey, is that your dad? They said, no, I think that's a wedding crasher. John, I hope they paid you more than just chocolate eggs for this one. And the next one's not a hat, but I got 3 letters for it. WTF. Isn't that Johnny, little Johnny Three Feathers there? I see you found another use for your orange pocket protector. And John, I hope you're doing bong hits on this next one. Look at it. What do you got, Liberace's underwear on your head? Isn't that Zen Schmed, the self-proclaimed guru? Is that you? But anyways, John is kind of weird. And he got even weirder a couple weeks ago. I couldn't believe it. He brought in Vanna the Mannequin. I remember, I'm like, what are the guests going to think about this? Keep an open mind, keep an open mind. But John, I thought that was weird, but according to your housemates, you kept dressing it up. Hey Jessica, he must have been really missing you. Look at it. But John actually brought it to the bar. I think it's to the point where Jan realized she didn't have a head. But John, the more I look at this picture, John, I realized, man, Vanna the Mannequin might be the perfect woman for you. You don't have to buy her a drink. She'll let you do all the talking. And she won't interrupt you. Perfect woman for you. Because you know, it's all about John. You already know that, right? John has all these sayings, though, that might explain some of his weird behavior. I'm at that awkward stage between birth and death. Is it true? But John, you know, I knew John was from California, but I didn't know he was part of a street gang. Is that the blood of the Crips? Or is that a sophisticated way to pick your nose? I'm not sure what they're doing. And you know, you never really know somebody until you actually go down their house and meet their family and friends. So the first time John said, hey, come by my house, I was like, okay. Because sometimes I don't know if I take John, you take John at face value. So I get there and he goes, I want to introduce you to my daughter. I'm like, oh, okay. I know John is socially progressive, so I'm pretty cool with it. So this is his daughter, Talacia. So I went up to Talacia, unbeknownst to me, and I said, wow, Talacia, is John your dad? And she went, and then she looked at John, and then she looked back at me, and she said, Patrick, I got one word for that thought. I go, what's that? Scary! John, I took that as no. But one thing John is really good at, he's great at parties. There's something about parties that whenever you go to a party at John's house, he always loves banana splits. So he's always making banana splits, which is really cool. cool. You're quite the host, John. But your housemate said you have kind of a social anxiety tic that I'm not sure you realize. You see, the second you leave his house and you're just about out of earshot, he likes to yell, "I thought they'd never leave!" I think he's getting counseling for that. Finally, it's probably not the stretch to know that John is a bit of an exhibitionist. And we might be learning more about John than we probably really want to know. Because according to his housemates, they told me that this spring, he's going to participate in the Bellingham nude bike ride. I got one piece of advice for you, John. Please, don't go down the middle on a unicycle. Dramatic. Don't do it. So John, in summary, yes, John is a bit odd, a bit weird, and socially inappropriate sometimes. But John, that's what I love about you. Keep it up. Be you. Mr. Toastmaster. Go ahead.
Thank you, Patrick.